a study that it's on Twitter, right? It's a study about Twitter or on Twitter. And I don't know, many of us are on Twitter. Some of us are on Twitter more than others. Tim gets on me all the time, like, dude, get on Twitter. But either way, this one here is a study that suggests that content matters.
Indeed.
On Twitter. This comes from...
Not much else does matter beyond content.
But content does matter.
Oh, yeah.
According to this study, is a research that analyzed 40,000 articles posted to Twitter over the course of a week in August, and collected information on the agency that wrote each article, the outlet that first tweeted the article's information category, and the emotion of the article's language. What they found is that some articles are more tweetable than others. Here are some of the key findings that they got from this study. Number one is that the source was the biggest indicator.
What do you mean?
This is that more reliable the source, the better the chances of a tweet. So if you get it from, let's say, a tech blog, for example, one that is probably larger than others, not only because they have a lot of followers, but because it is, in fact, from a trusted source.
Oh, I see.
Right?
Yes, that makes sense.
Sometimes if you get it from just a small-time blog, you're like, well, I don't know who this person is. Why would I tweet that?
I have no idea that this person is insane and not telling the truth and all
How
that.
would I ever consider retweeting something that I don't know if it's legitimate? So definitely, if you have a from a source that people trust, that's one. Number two, stories in popular categories will spread more rapidly. For example, I don't know, technology or cats are pretty big categories. If you tweet in those categories, you can probably guess that somebody's going to look at it and potentially tweet it or retweet it. The third one is that if you mention a known person, place, or organization, you're more likely to get your story tweeted. So, which is another example or another
tweet tip.
Of using like Google in the name or a celebrity in the name of your tweet will typically get someone's attention and say, oh, wait, hold on. Lady Gaga does X, Y, and Z.
Yep.
That will probably say, oh, well, Lady Gaga, right? Also, I think to some degree, I think that perfectly makes sense considering many of us are aware of those people. Like oftentimes when I read blog titles in my feed reader, I used to, and this is a while ago, I used to read every single post, not necessarily read, but I used to open and close every single post that was in my reader. It took clearly a long time. In order to save time, I just started to scan over titles of the articles. And what I found myself doing is, in order to kind of get to some of those articles, I would just look at keywords like, is there a company that I recognize, like Netflix? Of course, I'll stop if I see Netflix, or if I see Google or Facebook or Twitter, or a company that I recognize, I'll stop. Because I'm like, oh, what is this? The other thing I noticed too is that if I keep seeing this story over and over from people that I trust, then I'm like, well, maybe I need to read this. Because sometimes I don't know. So I can definitely understand this, that even in tweets, if you use all three of these, it might work. So I see that Derek is responding. Something is going on in the chat room. What is it that you see there, Derek? What's that say? What's that? I'm not going to say that out loud. What is that?
Bob H says, I'm going to tweet, Lady Gaga calls Derek the world's funkiest man. And I responded, as will Damond. You will.
And I would not retweet that, by the way. Do you have to have a reliable source? That's funny, though.
That's very funny. The celebrity thing. Nice.
Eileen Smith says, you can join my friend's site, justretweet.com. That way you can get your own stuff retweeted instead of Lady Gaga stuff retweeted. Bob A says, what? I'm not a reliable source? You mean for all things Lady Gaga? I would question that.
He is. We are reliable sources. He is just, Damon is just hating.
Really?
Yes.
You mean to tell me that Lady Gaga really said that?
I am.
I'm going to write one that says, true. Lady Gaga says, Derek Brinson's going to pay Damon $20 the day after Easter. Anyway, that's pretty cool.
I got two words for you. Ep-ick.